The Streamer Awards official nominations are in, and a Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamer has been nominated. Let's check out what's going on here. Best MMO? No. Okay. Best Souls-like? Surely it's under card game, right? Best art streamer? No. Best strategy game streamer? Yes, this is the category. This is the category of Dota, Teamfight Tactics, StarCraft, Hearthstone, and Super Auto Pets, and the like. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like Super Auto Pets. We got Box, we got Skara, we got Gore GC, and then we have Decade. What the? K3 Soju. If you want to go to streamerawards.com, I'll pin it in the comment, and you want to vote for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. And am I expecting to win this? Definitely not. But it would still be funny if Yu-Gi-Oh! Were to win over, I think we got Dota and Teamfight Tactics streamers here. If we were to compare the viewership of Master Duel to those games, we got past 7 days, like 700,000 hours watched. We then have Teamfight, 2.7 freaking million in 7 days. We then have Dota 2, 8.1 million. Is that, what is the most watched game on Twitch even? If I were to go to the front page real quick, and then we'll see that, whoa, 28 million with League of Legends. Well, that's maybe why Dota does not have its own category and League of Legends does. We're even getting support on Reddit for this, so that's very cool. Our Master Duel Decade nominated. Even on our freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Decade, you're gonna vote for a Duel Link streamer? Are you kidding me? Now, we are going to be streaming on Sunday, a $2,000 tournament qualifier, and I'm going to be doing more exclusive leaks, so make sure you check that out if you want to come on over to it. And I also just want to say thank you all for allowing me to have 2022 being my most successful year of streaming than my entire career combined. I thought I peaked a long time ago with Duel Links. Master Duel came out, and a bunch of different communities just came out and watched. So thank you all for that very much. I appreciate that immensely. And I think a big criticism I have right now is, are you going to stream more? I want to, but I feel like with Duel Links compared to Master Duel, the excitement for new cards falls off a lot faster. You tell me if that's untrue. Is that just my feeling? These cards all just came out last week, and I feel like for most people, you're not really excited anymore. You already want the new leaks, the new good stuff. What would you want to see from me more on streaming? Would you want to see rogue tournaments, rogue decks, play with the new cards still, more tournaments, dueling on the ladder? I got a lot of videos to be uploading on YouTube of dueling on the ladder. That's good. We got Diamond, and you want to see me grind a Diamond 1? We could do that too. But in addition to that, let's talk about this Sunday, what we're going to be talking about. Boom. Now, am I going to be talking about Tearlament on Sunday? I can't say that I will. I don't want to bait you into thinking that, but I do want you to know that Tearlament and Ishizu both are coming within the next 2 months. If you believe my leaks, which my leaks have confirmed the first year anniversary a week before it happened. It confirmed all of these cards besides Sprite 3 weeks before they happened. Sprite I confirmed 1 week before it came out. I also, through my leaks, weeks before it happened, I told you Blaster, Ancient Fairy Dragon, and Change of Heart would be unbanned. And with that, I know when Tearlament's coming, and I know when Ishizu's coming, and I'm not saying that they're in the same pack. I'm not saying they are in separate packs. I'm saying that they are definitely coming within 2 months, which is insane because we're barely going to have any time with Tearlament by itself, or it's going to come out with Ishizu, and many of you know what that means. Let's see real quick. The Ishizu Tier 0 nonsense. I think back in the Ishizu cards came out, I would say YCS Pasadena. Yeah. And then we even had a $3,000 Decade tournament, the Decade Luxury Gaming Tournament. That was with the Tier 0 Ishizu. You could see this event, top 16. You tell me what you think looks like Tier 0 to you. Okay, it was 7 Ishizu, 1 Ishizu Ishizu Bestial Thunder. That is more than half of the event being Ishizu tier. And will that happen in Master Duel? I'll talk about that in a second. We then have, holy freaking moly, this is, okay. I can't even ask you, do you think this is Tier 0? 26 out of the top 32, Ishizu freaking Tearlament. That is insane. And is that now coming to Master Duel? Well, we'll see. Okay, let's go back to this. We know that before Sprite came out, they hit a bunch of cards. They hit Totally Awesome. Toad was banned. They also also banned Union Carrier, which is what the Japanese players were playing with the Dragon Buster to lock people out of the extra deck after Toad was banned. And then we had Sprite Starter hit. So that's quite interesting. If we were to try to predict what would preemptively get hit with Tearlament, as you can see highlighting these, we have some of these cards limited to 1 or semi-limited in either format OCG or TCG. And then we also want to be looking at the Ishizu cards. In TCG, every single one of these 4 main monsters, they're all limited to 1. So if we wanted to use Sprite and what they preemptively did to try to predict what would happen to Tearlament and Ishizu, let's see if we can kind of do that prediction. And maybe in another video, I'll describe more why this would be a potential tier 0 deck you'd want to be saving up for. But again, I would say this. I've been saying this a lot on stream. I feel that the TCG makes more money with a top tier 0 deck, and Master Duel makes more money when the game is diverse. The more diverse the game is, the more decks you're playing over the day, over tomorrow, the next day, where in the TCG, you're spending all your money on one deck. They really have to convince you to replace your one deck because you're only playing once a week normally. You're playing once every Saturday, and you're not really going to get sick of your one deck if you're playing one time a week. Where in Master Duel, they don't have to convince you to play a better deck. They can just convince you to play a different deck that's good enough because you're just going to get sick of one deck anyway. I don't know about you. How many different decks you play? You can let me know in the comments. If we look at Sprite, we should be looking at OCG of the hits. So we know an OCG totally awesome and Union Carrier also banned. They banned them in Master Duel. TCG Sprite Elf banned, but it's not banned in OCG, and OCG is the one controlling our ban list. Let's look at what they did here. Jet is at 1, Starter's at 1. Totally awesome Union Carrier banned, and looking at Starter and Jet both at 1, they decided to just hit Starter and put it to 2. That's quite interesting. So kind of down the middle, if we use that mentality of copying 2 bans and then going down the middle on the rest, let's see what that would mean for Tearlament. It's very weird to even predict when their main card, which Totally Awesome's not Sprite Totally Awesome, it's not Sprite Union Carrier. We have a core card of the deck, Kit Kalos, banned in TCG and OCG, even required for the fusion of Rukalos. Now, of course, you could use a fusion substitute, but for lore reasons, that's just kind of weird, right? Do I think it would be banned in Master Duel and release? Definitely not. I know, I think I made a joke in the Discord saying that Kid Kalos will be banned on release poggers because, you know, that'd be funny. A lot of people took that as a leak and just ran with it. So I don't know if you've been hearing that. But if we look at the other cards, Rhino Heart at 1 in OCG, the field spells at 1 in OCG. This could be like Sprite Jet, and this is like Sprite Starter. Then we look at the other cards. This is at 3, this is at 2, this is at 1. They have a lot more hits than Sprite. The other cards are not hit. I would think maybe at least 2 of these cards would be hit. Geez, I don't even know. I think the field spell might come out limited to 1. It searches, it pops cards on the fields. Sharon might be, these both might be semi-limited. I really have no idea what they could do to stop a tier 0 meta from coming, especially because the Ishizu cards are also coming within the next 2 months. In the TCG, they had a few months to play with Tearlament without the Ishizu, a luxury that we're not going to have. Only half of these are limited to 1 in Japan. I actually would not be surprised if all of these came out semi-limited, or, you know, they could even just limit everything to 1 across the board, because these are just ridiculous. What's so good about them is the machine-looking ones, I know they're all fairy, but the machine-looking ones and then the 2 humanoid-looking ones, the humanoids have the effect while in the graveyard. It also works while on the fields. They can quick effect banish to target 3 cards in either player's graveyard, shuffle them back in the deck. So that would completely nullify the Runic Fountain. If you DD Crow Runic Fountain, they still get to draw 2 if they return 2 other cards. But 3 for 3, this kills the Runic deck. And so that's quite crazy if you were going to still be playing Runic in this meta. We also have the machine looking ones. What happens is when they get sent to the graveyard, graveyard from the hand or deck, they're going to activate for both players to mill 5. So what happens is if you get a Yugioh in the graveyard, you mill 5, then you mill Kelbeck, then you mill 5. If your opponent milled a Kelbeck, then you both mill 5 again. Then they probably milled a Yugioh, you both mill 5. And then both of you and your opponent probably have a bunch of Keldos, a bunch of Mudoras. They're both hard once per turn. You're then going to activate to shuffle cards from either player's graveyard back in the deck. And these two monsters completely stop the fusion summon of any of the Tearlament girls. The Tearlament girls, if either of them are sent to the graveyard, that is what's going to be triggering their fusion summon. And they have to be used as part of the fusion in order to fuse. So if you shuffle them or DD Crow them, they're going to be gone. And another big thing to talk about with this tier 0 meta is that Bestial was available for TCG players to help counter Tearlament. These cards are the main counters, and you might be thinking, oh, I don't know what a Bestial deck is. You're going to know what this is because you're going to play it. I promise you that you will play these cards. These, they look like big monsters, and they are, but they're hand traps. They're all hand traps. They special summon onto the field from your hand by targeting a light or dark in either graveyard and banishing it. It is a DD Crow, but just for light and dark monsters, and summons themselves onto the field. And that's the main way to counter their fusion summons efficiently. We're not going to have that, though, and I'm telling you that right now. If you believe my leaks, which you should, this is going to be wild. I don't know what the heck the meta is going to be. And, of course, we just had a tier list, I should say a ban list update, which I think Runic Sprite will still be tier 1. It might just fall down in power. The 29 pretty much represents, as you could read down here, the power rankings are pretty much the deck percent of a total pie of tournament topping decks here. And this is all community tournaments. So if you were to click on Runic Sprite, see the breakdown, and you can see that this is not even my tournament. Master Circuit Series. Then we got MCS down here. All right. Now, that's all I got pretty much for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick little update on what's going to be coming to Master Duel, and we'll be talking about more leaks on this Sunday. And I would also, again, greatly appreciate if you consider voting for me for the Streamer Awards. Again, definitely not going to be winning over one of these mad lads. I don't know which one it is. One of these fools stream at like 25,000 viewers live. What the freaking hell were they putting me up against? Thank you very much. We are out.